Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
Okay. Now, what separates public relations from propaganda? Are they the same thing?
Well, you just said it. One is propaganda, one is public relations.
So what's the difference?
Said it. Well, the difference is that propaganda aims at, mostly is used by government, all right? Either they are using it for advocacy or they are using it to make sure that certain things happen. In most cases, propaganda does not inform. Propaganda just tells you or lets you know this is where we are going, this is what we have done, and blah, blah, blah. But public relations is a step-by-step information dissemination. Is a step-by-step, thought-out, deliberate information aimed at, enlightening and counseling and predicting future. All right. One of the most important jobs we do in public relations is to scan the environment. When we scan the environment, we are able to make predictions, and based on these predictions, we are able to counsel whoever we are working for. Propaganda does not do that. Propaganda aims at just winning you to their side. They are not scanning any environment. They are coming with what they want and putting it in such flowery language and making people join them as much as possible. That's not PR.
Interesting. Now, to run a good PR campaign, what and what are required?
This is consultancy.
I like that.
This is consultancy. Well, to run a good PR campaign, one of the things, first of all, is what is your brief? You must understand your brief. Most people think that, they just have, you must understand your brief. There must be a brief. There must be a goal. There must be an objective. You must know your target audience. Public relations is not aimed at everybody. It's not directed at everybody. All right? We always, in public relations, you hear us talking about targeted audience. So whatever campaigns you are doing must be targeted at those targeted audience. All right? Otherwise, your campaigns will fail. Because that targeted audience will now determine your messaging, will now determine your initiatives, every strategy that you put into that campaign. Let me give you an example. The demography, for instance, they are different. All right? So be able to get your campaigns right, you must have a brief, you must have a goal, you must have a strategy. Your strategy must take care of your targeted audience, the demography, the psychography, and all that. And then you must also know your channels and your tools that you want to use. Of course, you must have a budget. All right? Your campaign shouldn't go beyond your budget. Otherwise, somewhere along the line, you'll find that you have problems. Okay? So these are some of the things you must put into play when we are running a PR campaign.
Interesting. So
if you need more, if you need okay.
Yeah. So how does one determine a successful PR campaign?
Outcomes. I said it before. Outcomes. All right. You have your plan. You have your brief. You have your strategy, you have your inputs, you have your output, but what is the outcome? Because of my campaign, 4 people, let's say my campaign is on COVID-19 vaccines in my village, right? where everybody thinks that COVID-19 is a disease of the rich, people like you, not
journalists like us.
not people like
I'm just a journalist.
Oh yes, Tinubu, yes. There must be evaluation. Measurement and evaluation is now key. It's very key, especially for your return on investment. You want to know your return on investment. So that is what we're talking about. Is your return on investment? I will tell you how good your PR campaign has been. So it's not just to say, Omo, we finished them. Did you see the ad? Did you see the jingle? Did you see our location, the brand activation? Fine. All those lead to one thing: impacts, outcome. So because of all these effigy that I did, now in my village, 1,000 people have agreed to take the vaccine. So that's what tells me success. All right. And then in the boardroom, they want to hear numbers. They want to hear numbers. They want to speak the language of the boardroom. Yes, boardroom, they read the newspaper. They saw their MD on the front page of the newspaper. Yes, they saw it, just channels. So what? What impact have we had on the bottom line? So can we say because of your campaign, Nkechi Bank Limited has been able to get 1 million deposits, new depositors? So those are the things that help you know you have done well. Outcome.
Interesting. Now, if you hadn't gone into PR, what other profession would you have gladly embraced?
Catering.
Why catering?
Again, I think I'm just one human being that loves. I love cooking, and I cook well. A lot of my friends have told me that I missed my career, that I should have been one. Oh yes, that I should have been one of the best caterers. But anyway, on a more serious note, I think I would have gone into. I would have been a health worker, either medicine or a nurse or a social worker. Those are the things I know I would have done.
Okay. Now, as one of the leading females, in PR practice in Nigeria, what's your advice to others who are also aspiring to come into the profession?
Let me quickly answer. Yes, data is important, but data, we are looking at data at two levels: data as in content and data as in what you need for social media. Yes, two of them are very important. They are key parts now. Yesterday we were talking about how important digitalizing your PR initiatives are, because right now every PR practitioner must learn not just to be an immigrant. You must be a native of the digital world. All right. So sorry, I just like the comment that you made. I needed to address it. Thank you.